Weaver Lake is in limbo.
Temperatures going down, rain chances going up across East Alabama for the next couple of days. We'll have the complete forecast details coming up.
We put a wrap on week 0 of high school football and a historic night at Jacksonville State Saturday. We'll talk about it in sports. EAN Local News starts now.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by WM Grocery, located in Heflin, Wadowee, Roanoke, and in Piedmont.
Good evening, and thank you for watching East Alabama Now Local News for Monday, August 28th, 2023. I'm Mike Stedham. Katie Edwards is away this evening. The lake was once a part of the nearby Buckhorn subdivision, but previous owners gave the property to the city of Weaver. Now the lake is a popular fishing hole for the community, but the condition of the site is declining while officials decide if they want to retain or return the property. Weaver Mayor Jeff Clendenning says that if they keep it, the lake and the area around it are going to need some work.
Yeah, there's some problems with some of the docks down there, and we've had to pull some boards so that nobody goes out on them. We don't want anybody to get hurt down there. So we're just, we're working through it right now and trying to come up with a plan and what we want to do with it and how we want to do it.
Clendenning says it will take a lot of money and a lot of time to get the lake back into good condition. A walk around the lake reveals Gatorade bottles and plastic food containers stuck in what appear to be clumps of algae. Caution signs warn residents to stay away from the former entry point to one of the piers, which is now completely separated from the bank. The mayor says the city council is gathering estimates to determine how much it's going to cost to repair the docks at the lake, and now it must decide if it's in the city's best interest to invest in that property.
We've talked about it. We've talked about giving it back to the people. We've talked about selling it. We've talked about keeping it and making it a huge asset for us, but no decisions have been made. The only decision has been made is to maintain it and keep it up right now.
The lake remains picturesque from a distance, reflecting passing cars at sunset near the site of an event venue that once served as a clubhouse and restaurant for the neighborhood. Despite the cleanup work required, the mayor says he remains hopeful that the city will retain and improve the property. When we come back, we'll tell you about a project to help motorists find their way around McClellan.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Waldrop Manufacturing, metal buildings made right here in Calhoun County.
In an effort to improve safety and navigation around McClellan, its Development Authority is installing 24 new wayfinding signs throughout the former Army base, along with 4 police security cameras. The MDA approved both of those projects last year in response to the community's need for live feed security and an overhaul of its signage system. The MDA worked closely with the Anniston Police Department and Simmons Signs and Graphics of Gadsden to coordinate the project, which is now being installed. MDA Executive Director Julie Moss says the authority wants to make sure that residents and visitors alike feel safe and welcome on the property. The MDA hopes the wayfinding signs will encourage more visitors to McClellan who've been previously concerned about getting lost, as well as help direct people to high activities locations such as the FEMA Center for Domestic Preparedness, the Industrial Park, the Medical Mall, and McClellan's various recreational offices. The 4 new live monitoring police cameras will be placed at strategic locations around McClellan to act as a crime deterrent. Anniston Police Captain Justin Sanford of APD Special Operations Division says the cameras will provide an extra sense of security for the community. The installation of all those wayfaring signs and the police cameras is expected to be completed by the end of September. When we come back, we'll tell you about some citizen suggestions for improvements at a popular local park.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. Steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today. This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Oxford Lumber. Come visit any of our locations in Oxford, Jacksonville, Talladega, and Roanoke.
Ward 2 Anniston City Councilwoman Millie Harris met with about 20 of her constituents Sunday afternoon to discuss possible improvements at the Hamilton Ballard Park. Harris told the group that City Manager Stephen Folks had recommended she hold this meeting to make sure that the people who live around the park and use it regularly are given a chance to have input before any changes are made. This small park sits at the corner of East 7th Street and Jefferson Avenue. It features a small field for soccer or frisbee games, a play area for small children, a picnic pavilion, and a gravel walking track. Some of the ideas floated at Sunday's meeting included paving that walking track, repairing some of the equipment around the pavilion, and filling a hole in the field. Councilwoman Harris said these suggestions will be taken under advisement, but she reminded the audience that the city has infinite needs and a finite budget. Well, let's go to the EAN Weather Center where John Holder is going to tell us if today's rainfall is going to be with us for a few more days.
Mike, numerous showers and thunderstorms today across East Alabama, and that's going to continue for the next couple of days. We'll have a somewhat wet forecast coming up next.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
Lots of showers and thunderstorms today all across East Alabama before those storms arrived, with plenty of sunshine, temperatures rising back to 90 degrees once again, but that is literally nothing compared to the upper 90s we had over the weekends. So I think most folks not complaining about that today. Early this morning, the low 73 degrees. Your record high temperature 101, the record low at 50. You see their averages there 89 and 69 for the highs and lows. And the sunrise time at 6:15 tomorrow morning, 7:14 tonight, your sunset time. The weather on your street in East Alabama tonight, Post Oak Road in Alexandria, evening showers and storms. Those are going on all afternoon and all evening long. We had some big time rain and storms out in the Alexandria Valley already today. We'll drop down to 70 overnight tonight. Coming up tomorrow, more of the same. High rain chances, mainly the afternoon. Afternoon showers and storms on Brentwood Drive, Inland Lock in the center of Calhoun County. 86 for the high tomorrow, but that will come probably around lunchtime by the afternoon. The rain chance tomorrow about 80%. Those showers and thunderstorms going to cool things off. Just like today, we were sitting at 90 degrees. The showers and thunderstorms came through and the temperatures dropped all the way down into the low 70s in the middle of the afternoon across most of the region. And for the rest of the week that's coming up, cooler and wetter weather coming up. Old Coach Road, that's out in Golden Springs in Edgefield Farm. out in there and all across Calhoun and Cleburne counties. You're going to be looking at temperatures in the 80s. Today is the last day that we're going to see temperatures in the 90s for the rest of the work week. We'll see an increase coming back for the weekend, but 80s all week long, and some wetter weather, especially coming up today, tonight, tomorrow, and during the day on Wednesday. Here's the 7-day forecast. This rain that we're getting is not because of Idalia. It is not from that at all. This is just showers and thunderstorms with a front that's coming through. About an 80% chance of rain tomorrow, a 50% chance of showers and storms, mainly in the afternoon on Wednesday. Then we taper down to only a 20% chance of a pop-up shower on Thursday and Friday. Highs, again, look at that, in the mid-80s. Nighttime lows dropping down to the 60s. Looks like the cool morning will be Thursday morning at about 63 degrees. And then for the weekend, it's going to continue to be on the dry side, but the temperatures begin creeping up from 86 on Friday, 80 out on Saturday, and then we're into the 90s again by the weekend. But this will be low 90s, not upper 90s. So our summertime temperatures are not gone, but maybe our heat waves are done for the summertime. Well, everyone talking about the hurricane, soon to be hurricane, down in the Gulf of Mexico. Here is the latest forecast track from the National Hurricane Center down in Miami, Florida. You see the landfall of this thing with a major hurricane, Category 3 in the Big Bend region of Florida very early on Wednesday morning. Idalia is then going to track into North Florida, southern Georgia. It looks like places like Brunswick, Savannah, Charleston, South Carolina, even Myrtle Beach. This entire coast is going to see at least a tropical storm, if not a hurricane. But all of the effects will be on the east side of this. The west side of the storm, it's high and dry. So even on the Florida and Alabama Gulf Coast, not anything more than maybe an uptick in rip currents. No rain from this here for us in East Alabama. That's all going to stay in Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas over the coming days. Jacksonville State football with a historic win over the weekend. Chase Robinson is next with sports and has all the details. Chase?
Thanks, John. On Saturday night, history was made as the Jacksonville State Gamecocks beat UTEP 17-14 in the first ever FBS game for Jack State, as well as their Conference USA debut. It was hot at Burgess Snow Field Saturday afternoon, but over 17,000 fans showed up to cheer on the Gamecocks in what was a classic football game that came down to the final minutes. But one thing is for sure, you can't start a season any better than the way Jack State did Saturday.
Played hard the whole time. Our defense was fabulous with their intensity. I really liked our focus. We made a couple of big plays on special teams. I really appreciate the crowd hanging around in a hot day and helping us out with some energy at the end. So it was a great win. That's a good football team. I think they'll make a bowl game. And that's the most veteran team in Conference USA. So we knew it'd be a challenge. And, you know, they played really hard. Their Coach Dimmel and his staff do a great job. But it's a great night for Jack State. And I'm going to go enjoy a nice cold one at the Rodriguez Hard Edge Bar and Grill right at my house as soon as I leave you guys.
Jeremiah Harris came to Jacksonville State as a walk-on in 2017, and this offseason he received a 7th year of eligibility for this season. And in the first game of his final season, he was the hero that made the interception to seal the deal.
Terrific way to end it, and I told the team, I said 10 years ago, J-Row walked on here. You know, it was really 7 years ago, but, you know, I digress. You know, he walked on 7 years ago, and here he is coming back in his final college year and making the play of the game. And everybody in our they lifted him up in the locker room. I mean, everybody on our team has tremendous respect for him. So tickled to death to see that.
Jacksonville State will be back at home this Saturday for a 1 o'clock kickoff against East Tennessee State. We'll have more Jacksonville State coverage tomorrow. The 2023 high school football season is underway, and there was a lot of great action on the field and a lot of great performances on the field. Every Monday during the high school football season, we will bring you our EAN Sports Top Dudes of the Week. That is the 3 players across East Alabama that had standout performances this week. So here are our first EAN Sports Top Dudes for Week 0. We'll start with Nick Richardson of Oxford. He had 207 yards and 3 touchdown receptions, including a 74-yard touchdown to help Oxford defeat McAdory 33-23 on Friday night. Also, Jacksonville Golden Eagle quarterback and Troy commit Jim Ogle had a big night. He threw for 245 yards and 4 touchdowns as Jacksonville took down Boaz 43-21. Final top dude of the week, Caden Gooden of Weaver. He took a kick return to the house for a touchdown to help spark the Bearcats to their win over Donahoe 40-13, and that was the first season opening win for Weaver since 2018. So those are the EAN Sports top dudes of the week for week 0. And that's it for sports. Let's send it back over to Mike.
Thanks for watching East Alabama Now Local News. You can find us here online every weekday evening starting around 6:30 on either Facebook or YouTube. Just go to our video feed and watch the news whenever it's convenient for you. We'll see you back here Tuesday for your news on your schedule.